What's good, y'all? What's good? So, today what we're going to do right now is we're going to decode the Bible, a verse from the Bible anyway. And this is from the book of Revelations. For those of you who have missed these types of videos, here goes one for us. So, we're going to be looking at Revelation chapter 4, verse 7, when it talks about the first creature was the ox, the second creature was the lion, the third creature was the third symbol was the man, and the fourth symbol being the eagle. Now, for those of you who don't know, the eagle in older times and in different texts is representative of the sign Scorpio. All right, so there's no confusion there. When you hear eagle, that means Scorpio. All right, so let's get into it. Let's break it down. So, starting with the ox is the bull, the Taurus. All right. So these symbols, these creatures are reflective of astrology, part of the zodiac wheel. And I don't have the name of the person to give them credit for where I first seen this, but it was amazing. I got real excited when I seen them do it, so I figured I wanted to extend on it and put my own spin on it of what I seen, because I just started seeing all types of downloads once I seen that. Oh shit, like that really makes fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. So let's start with the ox. The ox is the bull is the Taurus, right? So the Taurus is representative of human suffering. The same way that Christ had suffered 2,500 years ago when he came on earth to do his 1-2, you know what I'm saying? The Taurus is the human suffering. And it's because of this. Well, it's because of a few different reasons, but we could say one of the reasons is that let's talk about the creation of man, right? The story of the fall of man, the fall of man. So the fall of man came through ingestion, right? The woman consumed the fruit, whatever kind of fruit it was. There's debates about that. I don't want to get into that, you know what I'm saying? But through consumption, ingestion of a substance is how the fall of man came about. So let's think about that for a minute. Let's break that down. Taurus represents the throat, all right? So we beginning right there. So in this day and age, right, if we bring it back to modern times, there is a stronghold on the human anatomy to where there's different types of foods that are being created, being designed, and it's hurting the human being. It's destroying the human being. There's forever chemicals. There's toxic, hazardous chemicals being put inside of foods, and for whatever reason, they're not being flagged, at least not at the rate that we would like it. You know, Europe is doing a better job at that. So everybody from the United Kingdom tuning in, shout out to y'all. Anyway, it's a little Pisces sarcasm to get this going. So, but for real though, human suffering is reflective of the Taurus, of the bull. And we can also look at this too, right? Like the matador teases the bull, teases the Taurus. So let's think about that for a minute, right? You ever seen a Taurus? Like a Taurus woman could be butt ass naked sitting on a huge beanbag surrounded by incense and plants and turtles and cats and dogs and shit, right? It's a beautiful fucking scene. But they're calm, they're cool, they're collective, you know what I'm saying? They're touchy-feely and all that good shit. It doesn't seem like someone who's aggressive and enraged, does it? No, in their natural essence, they're not. And in fact, the moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus, right? So the creature comforts, you see the comfort foods all stocked up in the refrigerator and the cabinets and shit. They just chilling in their abode, enjoying all of the five sensory things that the earth provides, right? But they're not enraged. They're not, aggressive until you make them mad. You know what I'm saying? You have to troll them, taunt them, tease them. Hence, you see the bull on Wall Street, right? The bull on Wall Street is reflective of the stock market, of course, and it's that trolling energy that gets the human, because the Taurus reflects and represents us, the human being, and the place of value that we place on ourselves. Now, mind you, there are external forces that place value on us too, which we can get into that maybe on a later note, but it's more along the lines of being able to control money supply. So if I know how much money I'm throwing up in the air at every time, and I can calculate how many people are in the world, and I can calculate by the census how many people are employed and how many people are going to receive those dollars, I can also predict how the stock market is going to move. So if I taunt you and I tease you with the things that you like, or whether they be material things, a lot of humans like material items and stuff like that, or whatever is being held in high regard as a qualitative item or a must-have item, the human will go out and go buy it, depending on how in control of your impulses and understanding the war, if you will, or just how you're being taunted. You'll have more control over that. But without it, and what we've seen in society is stock market favors the bull market. Why? Because the bull market is aggressive. The bull market means that people are getting their money and they're spending it. They're spending it. So for the merchants and the companies who are the sellers of these materialistic items, the wave keeps going up, right? And of course, we have stock market crashes and stuff like that. That's another thing that we could get into later, but I just want to pinpoint that, right? So we must be aware of how the bull is taunted and trolled into making these consumptions, right? Because it still goes back to consumption, whether it's consumption of foods, consumption of items, it's consumption of things. This aggression is what makes the stock market skyrocket, right? And then we have to say, well, how is that? Why is that? Well, we look at the opposing side, the opposite side. The opposite sign of Taurus is Scorpio, the eagle, or Scorpio, right? So when your emotions are rattled to the point of rage, or even the feeling of power, right? Because Scorpio is ruled by Mars. So you want to take action to grab in order to enhance your power, especially on Earth. The more things you have in certain areas of the world, the more powerful you appear to be. So the opposition of Taurus is what is influencing this rage inside of the individual, right? The Taurus is the individual self. The Scorpio energy is more about a collective self strongly based upon finances, but not just any type of finance, a collective type of finance, other people's money, right? So even if a Taurus energy or representation takes a loan, that loan is being paid back to Scorpio energy. Scorpio rules over taxes, Scorpio rules over other people's money, etc., etc. You get the gist, right? So just imagine, again, it goes back to money supply. Whoever pulls the strings on the money supply can predict how that money flows, and therefore the matador gets to raising the joint, trolling the Taurus, and people go out and they do what they do. So there's something called mood foods, right? Taurus is out there, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Taurus, like, food set the mood, and this goes for anybody. You understand what I'm saying? So you can ingest certain things and then feel irritable. You can feel angry. You can feel sad. You can feel depressed. The same way that you can feel happy, you can feel elated. You can feel motivated. You can feel passionate based upon foods, mood foods. So ingestion of foods is a language, because your body is going to respond to whatever it is that you ingest. And if there's blockages and if there's some short circuiting, then you can understand how humans go awry when they ingest the wrong thing, when they consume the wrong things. That's not for their body. And at a rapid rate, we have foods out here that are not designed for the human anatomy. So you can understand where sickness comes from now. You can understand where mental health issues come from. You can understand where all types of cancerous issues are coming from. It's from the food. It's from the food. So this is important to know, because this is what the human suffering and the human condition when suffering is derived from, these types of things. So that's the first thing we need to be mindful of when we're talking about this passage in the book of Revelations, that when the Lord comes back, the human suffering part, because the Lord is coming back to bring vengeance, right? So vengeance is when you put punishment on people and you give them justice for their wrongdoing and stuff like that, right? So not only is the Scorpio energy based on jealousy and envy and stuff like that, right? So all right, let's take it from there. Scorpio energy got jealousy and envy, right? So it's like that jealousy and envy is the response of the worst of emotions. We can all agree on that, I'm pretty sure. The worst of emotions. And that's the base of it. But what it produces is aggression. It produces the type of mentality and actions in people that causes them to do things. And I know you're like, oh no, people need self-control. Yeah, indeed, people do need to practice better self-control. But what happens when things get out of control? People get hurt, they get shot, they get stabbed, they get thrown through windows, all types of shit, right? So we can agree that when the emotions are erratic or when they're moved in a way that is not compatible with health, then we face hazard, right? And sometimes ultimately death, which is ruled by a Scorpio. Scorpio also rules over research. So don't think for 1 minute that the corners of the mind are not capable of digging in the Akashic records. There's no deletion on the Akashic records, and being able to determine bloodlines, DNA from past lives without Ancestry.com. So people do have the power on this earth to be able to detect when someone has done some type of wrongs in their past. And sometimes people play the judge of that. It's like something comes over you. You ever bumped into someone one day, or do you just walk past someone or been in the same room with someone and you like something's off about them? I don't like them. You might just automatically not like a person. They ain't said a word or nothing. There could be some past life energy there that, you know, both of y'all were in the same room 300, 400, 500 years ago and something terrible happened. You know what I'm saying? You might feel like hurting or harming that person. Now, this is associated with mental health issues and stuff like that, mental disabilities and all types of stuff, because normally in a traditional setting, in a mental health setting, or at least if you're being assessed, they'll say that you're crazy if you feel like that about somebody, and you feel like, you know, they ask you questions like, do you feel like hurting someone right now? And you may be wanting to confess, like, and if you do, you might be like, yeah, I really did. Like, I can't explain it. I was in a store today and I seen this person. I was just like, hated their guts. I wanted to hurt them. And people, you know, the assessor may say, well, we got to give you something for that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can be harmful to yourself and others, which may be true. This is a thin line that I'm teetering on right here. I'm not trolling. I'm not teasing anyone who has mental conditions, but I'm pretty sure that some of you out there can relate to what I'm saying, right? This is from being able to tap into source, tap into the subconscious mind, and be able to understand that you've been here before. So those of you who had deja vu, stuff like that, you have dreams, visions, astral projections to where you've seen yourself in past lives and stuff like that. I see myself as a native Indian in a past life in Queens before, dressed in the garb and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Spear in hand, all types of shit. No bullshit. Real shit. I ain't fucking with y'all. I don't fuck with y'all. I don't play with y'all when I talk about that type of shit. So you got this Scorpio energy over there, right? And Scorpio is also representative of the hero or the betrayer. It could be either or. It depends on what side you're on, or, you know what I'm saying? It depends. Because, look, we got Judas to Jesus, right? You got Brutus to Caesar. You got Snowden to the USA. You know what I'm saying? Were these people heroes or were they betrayers? It depends on your discernment, right? It depends on how you calculate it, how you see it. You know what I mean? And the Scorpio sign represents death. So just like Judas gave Jesus a kiss on the cheek before he got, you know, before his demise or whatever the case may be, before he betrayed him. So the kiss of death, that's representative of Scorpio as well. Scorpio rules over that. So first Jesus was judged in Libra. Then he got betrayed in Scorpio, and then he got shot, stabbed with the lance, the arrow from Sagittarius, and then his demise came as the sun went into Capricorn, right? Capricorn is the winter solstice, when the sun actually disappears for 3 days when it enters the solstice and comes back on the other side of Capricorn, resurrected, right? That's the story of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I'm repeating this. I heard this from somewhere else, but, you know, we're all getting this information now. But I just want to add that in there so you understand the zodiacal attachment to these storylines. You know what I'm saying? And so when Jesus comes out on the other end, which is the sun, right? Son of God. He comes out on the other side as the Son of Man. So what sign is after Capricorn? Aquarius. That's the man holding the water bearer. He's the water bearer, right? So he comes back on the other side as the Son of Man, And that's what's representative when they say, oh, Jesus comes back as the Son of Man, when they talking about all of these four symbols in the book of Revelations. So, but before I get too far into Aquarius, the Aquarian part, I want to backtrack a little bit and go to the next sign after Taurus, which is Leo. So we can get some type of order going on. I'm dancing around it a little bit. So, like I said, you ingest foods, right? We got mood foods. Some foods that you digest can make you feel a particular type of way. Now, the sun is representative of happiness, joy, right? Vitality. So in order to possess those types of emotions or that type of stature, you have to consume the correct foods that make you feel that way. You get where I'm going? And if not, if those emotions are the negative emotions, then you can see how the world is in trouble, because the sun feeds the world. The sun feeds the world with its light through food and water, food and drink, right? So just think about how the Leo mentality is supposed to feed the world, but in modern times we are facing situations where farmlands are being bought off, they're being stripped, they're being destroyed, they're being bought off. Did I say that already? But they're being bought off, and new foods are being designed and manipulated, and seeds are being swapped for inorganic seeds and things of that nature. So it's like scientists, or the mad scientists, are playing a trick on the sun, and so to speak. You understand what I'm saying? So here you have this entity, the sun, which is supposed to feed the world, which is now disorderly because of its mood. Its mood is not happy, it's not joyful, and this is not everybody, of course. Shout out to the people out there who make themselves happy no matter what the situation may be, because it's just in them, it's not on them. You know what I mean? It's very important in this world today. So that happens, right? And then you got to understand, Leo rules the entertainment part of our psyche as well. So now if you pay close attention, or when you pay close attention, you see how entertainment is more along the lines of folly now. It's more along the lines of slapstick shit that really doesn't have any substance. It's more about who can do the most stupid, outlandish, dumb shit on TV, the internet, wherever the case may be, reality TV shows and shit like that. Who's the most ratchet? Who could do the most dumb shit, right? This has become a form of entertainment now, which is pretty sadistic. It's pretty fucking sadistic. And it's just a mockery. It's making a mockery out of the sun when you are... Now you got to think about this too. The sun is bright, right? So all of the eyes go where the sun go. So the entertainers and everybody who gets this spotlight, not everybody, but the masses are attracted to them. So you can see where the Scorpio energy begins to develop, because there's a lot of hate, jealousy, and envy that comes with that, right? So now you got all of these eyes on you, you're getting all this attention, they're getting all of this fame, and now you got some people who are not getting that same type of vibe. So they're plotting in the background like, oh, I don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? Now they want to do you some harm. Now they're giving you the evil eye. Now they're preying on your downfall. They want to see you fall. And you might not be the best of individuals either. So I'm not saying if it's warranted or not. That's not up for me to decide. But I'm telling you, this is also how the Scorpio energy becomes either the hero or the betrayer, right? Because if that jealousy and envy excels to the point of rage, to where they take action and utilize the aggression of the Mars energy and they take somebody down, it's not until that person sees their demise that everybody gets to decide or determine whether that person was right for doing it or whether they were wrong for doing it, right? Now, murder is supposed to be wrong in all types of forms and fashions, right? However, when the Lord states that he's coming back as vengeance, how do you apply that? How do you discern that? How do you determine that to be? If you do read the religious text, and even if you're a part of any of these factions, get in the comment section, help us out, because this conversation is not going to get better until we have people from all walks of life putting their 1-2 into this as well. You know what I'm saying? How do you see this? Is what I'm saying just straight blasphemous because I'm talking about the zodiac when I'm applying it to this story? I'm applying it to the Bible, I'm applying it to historical texts, when I'm applying it to the story of Jesus? Or can you, for once in your life, fathom or consider what it is that I'm saying, what other astrologists are saying, what other people who practice their occult sciences are saying? Can you just consider it for this moment, for the sake of this conversation? You understand what I'm saying? And get in the comment section and put your 1-2 on it, because it could really help bring some clarity to the situation. Like, I feel all in my soul that what I'm saying is correct, that needs to be said. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't. So again, back to the whole entertainment thing, right? It's like, it's a whole bunch of fuckery on the TV. You know what I mean? And not for nothing, some great things, some great films. Like, I'm a big, huge film buff, so some great films that came out of Hollywood and stuff like that. And me personally, I'd rather watch a film that has fuckery in it than to see that shit happen in real life. That's me personally. You know what I'm saying? However, at the same time, I do understand that karma is a thing, and that people are in real life are doing real life situations that harm and hurt other people, and that karma can come back to get them in some type of form or fashion. And like I said, the Akashic records don't delete, and the Lord, the Son, however you want to state it, right? If you think it's a man coming out of the sky with an actual white beard and all that, whatever, if that's how you determine it to be, then so be it. But at least Christians watching this, you can agree that your Lord is coming back for vengeance, right? So what does vengeance look like to you? At least does it entail death? Because to come back for vengeance is a Scorpio aspect. It's like coming back for revenge. You understand what I'm saying? So if Scorpio rules over death, wouldn't you associate death with that? You understand what I'm saying? And perhaps Christ is playing the hero role when asserting to that. Maybe they're the betrayer of life, because it's supposed to be pro-life and no more death, or whatever the case may be. But Christ also promised eternal life, no more death, the end of death, which I'm going to get to as well. So this can sound very contradictory. The Bible always has sounded contradictory to me. However, with astrology in play, I have a better, clear understanding of how it all plays out. You know what I'm saying? And one of the most important factors about how this story relates to our modern times and Revelations, well, first, because we're in Aquarius age now, you know that, right? So Book of Revelations is basically telling you reveal. So in order to reveal, it has to be the age that's after the Pisces age, because the Pisces age veiled everything, the truth, right? Aquarius is the sign of the truth. Knowledge is the truth. Jesus said his people perish because of the lack of knowledge. That means the lack of the Aquarius age. So as the Aquarius age comes back, the knowledge comes back, things get revealed. So that's why we're having this discussion right now, because things are being revealed. So now that the truth of the matter is at hand, and we get to determine whether the Lord's vengeance is an act of heroism or an act of betrayal, some of us are just looking at it from the sidelines. You know what I'm saying? Some of us have discerned the difference between right and wrong, and we're practicing that as much as we possibly can. Some people are saying, YOLO, you only live once, fuck it, going to hell, going to heaven. Some people just don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And they doing what they want to do, and they'll say they'll take it up with the Lord when the time comes, whatever the case may be. I'm not here to say who's wrong or right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to talk about this shit. So the Lord comes back, whether he's a hero, whether he's a betrayer, we shall find out. And we're actually finding out right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like the deaths that are occurring now are not, or just happening for no reason, or the people who are being betrayed and, turned on are just happening for no reason. It's already written. You know what I'm saying? And the most important factor of this conveyance right here is that these signs are fixed. And that's why Revelations in this chapter 4, verse 7 is phrased this way, because it's written in stone. You're not changing these things. You are not changing these things because they're fixed. Now, we can do some magic. We could dip around. We could pull up the miraculous when we talk about the mutable, when we talk about the angular, right? We can do that. But when you come in talking about the fixed, these things are fixed in place. Now, it doesn't mean the worst, because again, these signs have pros and cons to them. It's not all bad. You know what I mean? I'm a basically summarize it in the end. But I just wanted to put that out there. So where was I with the entertainment and stuff like that? Right. The entertainment of Leo, potentially causing some types of emotions in the Scorpio energy that says, okay, we got to get these people out of here. It's also like not paying your taxes. Oh, you want to make all of this money, but you don't want to pay your taxes? Here come the IRS. Now they're giving the IRS guns. All right, y'all don't want to make $600. We want our money. Y'all ain't going to give us that money? All right, we coming for you. You know what I'm saying? People might get laid down for not paying their taxes now. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? And who's the hero in that role? Are they betraying the people of the earth? Are they betraying humanity? Because you might say, oh, the IRS is a private company. They're not supposed to be doing that. Different story for a different time, right? But y'all done seen my video, especially Monkey in the Middle, one of the last videos I just posted. Y'all heard me talk about the eighth house and all that, how the resources are extracted from the wealthy to make sure that the have-nots have. So maybe if you're on the have side, you don't feel like that's justified. If you're on the have-not side, you do feel like it's justified. Or maybe if you're on the have-not side, you might feel like, well, give us the guns. We'll just keep our own fucking guns and we'll go take money from the wealth, right? Because I told you, if somebody don't go take the wealth from the wealthy, somebody gonna strap up and go raid some fucking villages. It's always been like that. It's always been like that. The tombs in Egypt got raided. It's always been like that. Something got to give. You know what I'm saying? It's about the balance of life. It's right after Libra, Scorpio. It's like, okay, I ain't trying to play fair in the Libra. Y'all ain't trying to break us off our shit. Then we gonna get on some Scorpio shit, right? Excuse my excitement, but I'm really excited by this shit because this brings so much clarity to the story. And especially the doomsday part of the story is like people are terrified, but if you're not able to comprehend what it's actually showing us and telling us and saying to us, then you're really going to be fucked, right? You're really going to be fucked. So, all right, we get to that. We get to the Leo causing those Scorpio types of emotions that can convey whether they're going to be heroes or whether they're going to be betrayers, right? So we can also talk about this. The Aquarius part. Now, the Aquarius part gets serious because I just want you to think about this for a minute, right? In the Aquarius age, this is where the whole there's going to be no more death thing comes into play because, first of all, Uranus is exalted in the sign of Scorpio. Why do you think that is? Okay, so Scorpio is the sign of death. We have Uranus, the planet that rules over Aquarius, exalted in this sign. This is a representation of the end of death. Uranus in Aquarius is going to put an end to death by way of homosexuality, transsexuals. Did I say that right? AI technology, AI-infused technology, STEM situations, right? STEM development in science, 3D printing, the internet, and blockchain technology. Now let me break it down. Homosexuals right now are adopting kids that their parents couldn't take care of. And this could be ranging from parents who were strung out on drugs. I know parents that were making middle class money, but they were drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? Got the kids taken away from them because of that. House got raided and shit. Woo, kids get taken away. There's even kids that are rich kids that run away from home at young ages and they just won't listen to their parents for shit. They don't give a fuck. They hate their parents, some of them. You know what I'm saying? And they just will play out there until some type of authority comes and gets them. Now, it takes a longer time for them to be actually taken from their parents and like put into foster homes and shit like that and to later be adopted because the money is long. So again, the Scorpio energy is going to be extracting, okay, well, you want us to find your kids? Pay us, we'll go find your kids, which is the law, municipal bonds and stuff like that. Okay, the detectives will go find your kids, okay? And then, they bring them back home, same shit, they run away again. I fucking hate you, Mom. They run away again and they do whatever the fuck they want to do. They get strung out on drugs and shit like that. And, the parents might pay for rehab after rehab after rehab. I'm not smiling at this shit. I know it kind of like seems that in my face and stuff like that, but it's just like sometimes that sarcastic part of me comes from people not being aware of that shit or people wanting to sweep that shit under the rug. Like all sides of us got all walks of life and different people got shit going on with them. You know what I'm saying? And for those of us who don't, you're blessed. I hope that you take that into consideration every day that you wake up, that you don't have those types of obstacles and troubles. You know what I'm saying? It's not cute. It's not fun at all when your children are going through shit like that, when your family members are going through shit like that. They're troubled by, either the ghosts or the atrocities or the way that they can't fathom this reality to the point where they choose substances that are harmful to themselves or just behaviors that are harmful to themselves, right? But my point being is that homosexuals can now not produce children and still obtain children. So that's an automatic downsize of population, right? Because they're not breeding and they're able to take the burden of other people's children off their hands. So that's one way. Transsexuals, they're just manipulating their whole anatomy. So that's to the point where, somewhere along the lines, right, that they're not going to be reproducing either. You know what I mean? And not for nothing, they're in the schools and they're raising your kids in some type of way as well, coming to those conferences and doing what they do and whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? You take this how you want to take it. I'm just putting the information out there. But it's a way of downsizing the population. Now, at the same time, right? Oh, I left out domestic abuse too, right? Because there's domestic situations at home to where the kids get taken out of home for that too, right? So there's also situations where there's no discipline at home because there's no fathers at home, right? So this elicits the behavior from children to go run amok and run wild. And that's really, what's the word I'm looking for? A recipe, if you will, for the authorities to get your children when there's no discipline at home. They're eventually going to end up in a group home, in a foster home, in DFY, and Spofford, in jail, in prison, so on and so forth. The list continues. You know what I'm saying? But it's all factors in depopulation of society. If you get locked away for pretty much all of your life, you're not making any children either. You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes people are traumatized to the point where they grew up so rough because they didn't have that father figure or the mother figure. You know what I'm saying? They're like, this world is so cruel and so cold. I'm not making any children. I'm not bringing no children into this world. You understand what I'm saying? So they're not repopulating the earth either. So we got those factors, right? So now you got AI, which is going to assist in people who, because I see sometimes in the media that people like to make fun of and make jokes of people. It's more along the lines of the wealthy people who want to live forever. They got this thing where they're going to invest a lot of money into, stem cell research and stuff like that because they see the potential that it has to prolong life. And then, some I guess more pessimistic types would be like, well, who would want to live forever? Or who would want to live? Would you at least want to? I'm asking a question right now. Would you want to live longer than the average span of life is actually living right now? Well, me personally, motherfucker, I would like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that everything that's being done is perfect. It's probably far from perfected. But to know that it's there is interesting, it's intriguing, and I fucking like it, yo. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think anyone is capable of being under the guise of the traditional way of the way things were, and in belief that that's the way that they should be forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, God made creation. God made man in this, that, and the third. No laboratory is supposed to make man this, that, and the third. Well, I'm pretty sure God had a fucking laboratory. I'm for real. Look, this is the book of Revelations, right? So in the Piscean age, the past 2,500 years, ain't nobody really tell you shit. They ain't tell you shit. They fucking discarded the book of Enlil, the book of Enoch, and all that. Mary Magdalene having children. They discarded all of that shit. That's Pisces shit. Don't let them see this shit. This is a fucking mystery. You understand what I'm saying? Veil. Everything veiled. So again, I'm asking the average viewer to open up your mind to try to consider these things that I'm interpreting right now so that we can get to the truth. We can get to the knowledge base and say, well, damn, God probably did have a laboratory, a factory even, right? He's greater than us. It's greater than us. So we can't give God a laboratory. We can't say, oh, maybe God had a fucking because I can go deeper into, and other people are doing the work too, of how, vibration brought man into being and all that stuff. But there's an outside force that produced this under the Capricornian, what you want to call it, a globe, or you want to call it a flat earth, what you want to call it, right? But I'm saying God has some science with him in order to create us, B. Like, we can't be foolish and say not. You know what I'm saying? But, of course, it's a free world, so you can get in the comment section. You can curse me out in the motherfucking comment section about this shit. I don't care. As long as I'm getting some traction on this issue, because I want to do more videos on this. And that, by the way, let's make a note of this. You got to remind me sometimes. I just be pumping. I get the downloads and I pump some videos out. Y'all got to remind me in the comment section. Find a way to message me if you have to be like, yo, remember you said you was going to do more videos on such and such? Get at me. Let me know, because sometimes I would just be on go and I'll just make up some entirely new shit. You know what I'm saying? But, so now, stem cell research, again, this is the ability to take, manufacture body parts inside of a lab. Now, just imagine, right? And some operations have been done already. Just imagine you got someone that you care about dearly, and they're suffering from some type of ailment with their body anatomy, and this stem cell research can actually produce another type of limb or another type of, just a bodily organ that can be put inside of this person to prolong their life. Would you be mad at that? Would you say, oh no, they're going to a better place when they leave here? Just let God have his way. Let God have his will. Or are we going to reflect on the possibility that this human being that we care about ingested the wrong types of substances for prolonged period of time that caused this condition, right? Now we're more aware of it. We're more aware that the arteries got clogged because they consumed too much grease. And the grease came from this oil, that oil, and that oil, a combination of them all for a period of years that caused this condition. We had the knowledge to find that out, right? So now we're just going to say, well, fuck it, pull a plug. Or just let them die because they're going to a better place than here. Like, who's the hero here? Is the hero the stem cell researcher, the doctor who's going to try to save that person? Or are you the hero because you're like, no, you're standing up for what you believe is right by God's way of, and I'm not even sure what passage that comes from, but I just had to put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Or are you the betrayer of that individual who says, man, pull a plug. You don't need to live here no more. Plus, he got that fucking insurance money. I want that. That's ours. He lived a long life. She lived a long life. They lived long enough. It was that motherfucking money, right? That's that Scorpio shit. Inheritance after death. That's Scorpio energy. I'm putting it out there. Y'all don't give a fuck like how y'all feel. Look. I do care about how you feel about it. I'm lying. But I'm basically saying that you can be mad at me for saying it. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? I do care about how you feel about this shit. But that's stem cell research. And then you got, like I said, like I was saying before, you got AI capabilities, right? AI infused technology that lessens the load on producers such as myself, others of you who are content creators. How many of you actually use AI to do some of your work? Some of y'all are using it full-fledged. You know what I'm saying? You're doing presentations, you're doing video voiceovers and all types of stuff, avatars and things of that nature. Are you using it? Do you like it? Are you scared of it? Because I'm talking about the pro things of the Aquarius energy, but there are some cons to that shit too. One being example is convenience being exchanged for security. What I mean by that, and I think I heard that from a war general, and I might be butchering the phrase, and any of the war vets get in the comment section if you know the phrase that I'm talking about, but it's just like when you allow maybe government or institutions to provide you convenience, is usually in exchange for security, meaning, oh, well, we're going to surveil the earth and we're going to protect you now. And in the process, we're going to make everything convenient for you. It's at a click of a button, anything you need, right? But in that process, they're actually extracting all of your information, all of your behavior, and maybe God is developing a new entity or a new human hybrid of some sort, right? Or the God intelligence. Maybe it is God, right? We ain't seen God yet, except for those of us who truly deeply believe that we interpret it through the signs and the downloads. But if you ain't seen God yet, in the flesh before. You ain't seen Jesus. I ain't seen Jesus, right? Who's to say that God's not performing again? And because it's a new age, that this is the way that God is performing, right? Who's the hero? Who's the betrayer? Are you the hero if you try to shut down the AI technology because you say, well, humans should live to the age that they're supposed to live, and God knows your days are numbered. Only God knows that, so we're going to leave it up to humanity and God's judgment, not to some technology or some machines. But we are the people who built these machines and this technology, and we are God's creation, right? So make it make sense for me, y'all. Just please make it make sense for me, type shit. And so AI, I know for me personally, right? I'm gonna speak on myself because I'm not gonna force myself on you or try to persuade you into like saying that AI is okay. But I can attest to AI making some of my workload lighter because of when I used it. You know what I'm saying? So what does that do? That takes stress off of the human being, off the human anatomy. A large factor in deaths of humanity are related to stress. Stress caused illnesses. You follow me where I'm going right now? So this is another way that death gets defeated through the Aquarius energy, through technology, via technology. 3D printing, same thing. Everything doesn't have to be manufactured by hand in factories and sweatshops and shit. You got a fucking computer that you just put the design in that bitch and the shit just boom, there you go, fresh out the oven. You know what I'm saying? Now, some of y'all may want y'all shit crocheted and knitted and sewn. I do all that shit, so I get it. You know what I'm saying? I like doing that shit. I like working with my hands. So I get it. But you're probably going to pay a whole pretty more penny for that, even more now, because of this technology exists, which is, if that's what floats your boat, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Cloning is even a thing, and I know people is like, oh, no cloning, right? Type shit. And I feel you. Again, I feel whatever your perception is on this. But I'm just putting things in perspective, right? So let's say this cloning thing is effective. Would you make a clone? Because you're already using the AI technology. Would you say, okay, well, damn, I just did a whole avatar voiceover for my video. Now they're saying that they're making sleeves to put the AI inside of, and I could design it like an avatar to look like me. And it can actually go walk around and do labor for me and go get on the train and take trips and do X, Y, and Z for me. I don't know. I might like this shit. You know what I'm saying? Sign me up. Where I put this motherfucking identity in this sleeve at? Where's the fucking factory? Right? Where's the factory? And I'm just proposing this so you can get the type of mindset to understand what I'm saying. These things are in effect. They're happening, y'all. They're happening. That's another thing about the Aquarian energy is rebellion. Right? There's going to be civil unrest. There's going to be an upheaval. There's going to be an uproar of all of the, not all of the things, but of some major things that are being thrown in humanity's face that all of a sudden just ain't going to fly no more. So it's just like I said, if you exchange your convenience for security and vice versa, security for convenience, then you can see if you're living in like a dystopian society where, you know, it's all under one world order and you gotta obey and do as you're told, but everything will be taken care of for you. See how you traded your freedom? And Aquarius is the sign of freedom. So how the fuck does that work? Is Saturn ruling Aquarius or is Uranus ruling Aquarius? We are sure going to see. We're already seeing it here and there in these pockets. You know, I'm not even going to mention the names of them. I don't want this video to get flagged and taken down. But you know, those rebellions will come. They are coming and they will come more. And freedom is the ultimate thing here, right? And the way to obtain that is what brings me to the next thing. Blockchain technology. And reason being is, remember when I talked about the Taurus energy, right? And how it's manipulated based upon money suppliers being able to predict the stock market because they control the supply of money and they have the consensus data to detect how things will play out. Marketing, psychology comes into play as well with the most consumed products and services in the earth. You can basically predict how the sales will come through once everybody gets their money, right? And as long as you make the money supply scarce, even now with the $1 trillion debts, it still ain't enough money. Money is abundant, ever abundant, ever abundant. There's no stop. That's why the manna coming down from the heaven is Aquarius energy too. You can't stop money, but people have been doing that for some time now to remain rich and keep people under oppression. It just is what it is, y'all. So blockchain technology, and I don't mean Bitcoin. Bitcoin is great, don't get me wrong, but you can still track where them Bitcoin purchases come from. But there's secret coins that I think is going to be much more important, now and in the future, to where your transactions can't be traced by no entity. That's freedom. That's the ultimate freedom. Now, to go even further, when you create your own currency, and people say, well, I want to trade in Benjamin coins because Benjamin's the shit. He got everything popping over there on all his channels and all his websites and shit. And I just be having fun over there. I want to spend my time over there with him and the people he fuck with and what they got going on, because that's where I feel like it's home at. That's where I feel it's best at. So I don't want that currency. I want his currency because I want to trade in his environment and do it like that. So that shifts the whole money control, money supply thing, because they're going to be like, damn, y'all don't even want this currency no more, huh? Y'all want that currency. And the more people who will produce a Benjamin coin like I will probably, you know what I'm saying? The better chance that we have at freedom, because there can't be one more dominant currency that's more dominant over the whole world. You know, we'll have a true breakaway free society that says, yo, I want to deal in Benjamin coins because this is what we doing over here. You know, the DAOs, I think that's what it's called, DAOs, DOAs, communities. I fucking love the concept. I want to be in that, like, fully entrenched right now. But it's just like everything is dragging and it's so slow, and all of these, you know, it gets wild because Uranus is in Taurus. You know what I'm saying? Or when Uranus in Taurus, it just makes shit type bogged out. It's pretty much what I'm saying. So, because it falls in Taurus, you know what I mean? But blockchain technology is going to be able to have us be our own financiers and have our money not tracked, because like I said, you trade in your convenience for security. Now all your searches get put into this database, and now they know how to market to you. When I say they, I don't even know who the fuck they are. I guess we can call it the big institutions, whoever the fuck they are, right? You can use your imagination to detect who I'm talking about. But they'll use your own information against you, you know? And then you keep wondering why your desires keeps getting further and further away from you. It's just because everything that you want is being shoved in your face as soon as you get to hold on to a piece of change. And then when you get it, then now you got to go back out and trade time that would be put into building your desire more into trading your labor for it. You get what I'm saying? So they put you in a rat race, in that maze, and we trying to break out, trying to be free. You get that blockchain technology, those transactions, they can't be traced. They can't tell who's doing what. And some of y'all want to be like, well, damn, that's dangerous because there's going to be guns being bought. There's going to be drugs being bought. Shit already happening on the dark net and all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like I said, government is slow. I've said this before. I say it again. Government is slow. It's going to take them a while to catch up to everything. But the ultimate solution to this is to adopt blockchain technology. I don't care what way you play it. You know what I'm saying? And another thing is just like mind your fucking business. And it's like, damn, that's pretty harsh, but it's like for real. Like if criminals want to still be criminals when it's the greatest time to be alive, and people want to still hurt people and buy fucking grenade launchers and shit like that to go on a block for and to sell fucking crystals and shit, mind your fucking business. But be aware, because all of the knowledge is here, right? So you try to form a DAO or get in the type of community that rebels against that shit, right? I just did the video on the rebellion arrives with Uranus and Aquarius. Get on your rebellion shit and align yourself. Choose a side. Group with people who are not with that shit, or group with the people who are with it. I don't know what side you want to be on. You know what I'm saying? But I told you, choosing a side is amongst us. You know what I mean? Because the Son of Man, Jesus, comes out on the other side after resurrection, right? Same way that Phoenix rises from the ashes. You know what I'm saying? The 8th cycle of life. Consumed through the 2. Taurus represents 2, number 2, second sign of the zodiac. And you cycle through the life, you get excreted through the 8, Scorpio. It's just like that. Comes right on back. So Jesus comes through, boom. comes on back, resurrected from the dead for vengeance through Aquarius, y'all. Fuck we talking about? Like, that's what we talking about. Get in the comment section, what are we talking about? So to summarize, right? Because I don't want to drag this and sound like a babbling idiot because I'm trying to stretch things that I've already communicated. I'd rather just wait to do more research and base it upon the questions and the statements that you make here. To summarize, on a positive note at that, is ingest food. This is a fixed lifestyle that you should, that I recommend you attempt to develop for yourself, because these signs are fixed, and this is the book of Revelations, and these energies are where they're going to be constantly happening in a fixed manner. You ingest foods in the sign of Taurus to the best of your ability that can fit your diet to the best of your ability. Next sign is Leo. Based upon those foods that you ingest will determine how happy you are, how healthy your ego is, and your individual sovereignty. All right. Next sign, Scorpio. Keep your emotions under control. Avoid jealous and insecurities and envious behavior deriving from those emotions that turns into rageful action against people, against another person. Refrain from that, and also keep in mind that you may be the hero or the betrayer in someone's story. You gotta stand for something or you'll fall for anything, right? I don't want you to fall. We already talked about the fall of man, and we talked about how the number 8 with Scorpio, that's the 8th house, is the excretion. That's where death occurs. So if we want to kill death, so to speak, then we must be mindful of that, right? And also be mindful of the research that can just seep into your mind from downloads that give you that eerie feeling like, yo, you don't want to be around that person. Well, get away from that person. You know what I'm saying? Now, and lastly, Aquarius, right? First choosing a side, adopting the type of technology that can prolong life, and rebelling for and against things that you're naturally assigned to in your natal chart, wherever Uranus, the sign that Uranus is in, and the house that Uranus is in. We'll talk about this at another time, should you want to. I'm out.